Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will be looking at the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. Now, when I'm talking about microprocessor, I'm talking about the Intel series of microprocessors. That is 8086, then we have 80286, 80386, and we have Pentium family. So I am going to compare microprocessor of Intel with some of the microcontrollers. Now if you look at the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller, here is a diagrammatic representation of microprocessor and microcontroller. So CPU of microprocessor will hold data memory, program memory, timers, input outputs. This will be clubbed as IOs, that is input and output, which is external to the CPU. Now if we look at in the case of microcontroller, you can see CPU is tightly coupled or is within a single IC. The data memory, the program memory, the timers, the input output, all are included within the chip itself. Now because of this, you can see there is a major difference between both of them. So microprocessors are much more versatile. In the sense, you can decide what can be your data memory, how much you want your program memory or timers or peripherals you want to control. So in case of microcontroller, that versatility is missing. So the IC manufacturer will himself give you a fixed amount of data memory, program memory, CPU, timers, input and output. Now depending upon that, where do you use your CPU? So if you have very data intensive jobs, okay, so if you have very data intensive jobs, then you need to go with microprocessor. So you have to process a lot of data, then you should go with a microprocessor. Now if you look at microprocessor, that is you can see your desktops, PCs and laptop is a microprocessor and do lots of things like you can play media in it, edit your word or surf the internet. With microcontroller you have n number of applications. You can look at your TVs, printers, washing machine. So it is used in small everyday functioning devices and systems. Though the function of microprocessor and microcontroller are different, they have certain similarities as you can see over here. Now the basic brain of microcontroller or microprocessor is the CPU or central processing unit, which you can see here. Now if you have a microprocessor, you can see this red, green and black lines. This will be external to the CPU. So if you have a microprocessor, this will be the CPU. So if you have a microprocessor, this will be the CPU and program memory, data memory, peripherals and input output will all be connected externally. And in other case, if you have microcontroller, so this is a microprocessor. So in other case, if you have microcontroller, this all things will be available inside a single chip, which is called as microcontroller. Now let us look at what are the important process. First is to collect the data. So data is not only the processing data, but program is also one kind of data. Okay. So data, we have one program. So when you talk about the program, it's the data which will control the CPU. CPU will work according to the program. Then you will have other data which you can process. So now to control the memory, since you don't have a single data, you have multiple data. And to access that data, you will require something called as address lines. So these are the address lines. Now after controlling address and data lines, we need to control when I want to read the program memory
when I want to read the data memory or when I want to read the peripherals or input output. So for that you have something called as control lines. So here you can see all the control bus which are in the black color. It is called bus because you are having a multiple number of electrical line called bus. Okay, so this is the line, but if you have multiple lines, they are called as bus. So you will have, depending upon the microcontroller or microprocessor, you will have data bus where you carry the data. Then you will have address bus or address lines which will control where the data has to be accessed. Then we will have control lines that will control whether you want to read from program memory or write from program memory or select any of this memory. So control lines has three functions. Control line has three functions, that is read, write and select. So you can do any of these three operations using control lines. So this is the common between microprocessor and microcontroller. Now as we saw, this is a microprocessor and this is a microcontroller. Now as you can see here, these are the control lines. So when you talk about the microprocessor, you will only have the CPU. So these are the control lines which will be coming out of the CPU. So for that we have control lines, address bus, and data bus. Now these lines are coming out of the CPU. So for that you need to have some PCBs for that. PCB is printed circuit board. So the size of the microprocessor increases. So size increases. Now in case of microcontroller, you have all the things inside the single chip. So as you can see, the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller is that the microprocessor requires large area compared to microcontroller. So microcontroller is easy to interface and comparatively cheaper than microprocessor. So as you can see, the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. Now let us go ahead. So when I'm accessing a program memory and a data memory, program is the data which can be decoded by the CPU, which is step-by-step instructions, and data can be anything like image processing or images or word file which CPU cannot decode. So now depending on which you have program memory or data memory at a single location, you have two architectures, which is von Neumann and a Harvard architecture. In a von Neumann architecture, the program and the data memory is in the same location, or nearly they both occupies the same space. So you have one memory, you can decide one part will have program memory, another part will have data memory. So in general, CPUs have this type of architecture where program memory and data memory occupy the same space. Now because of this, there is only one line. So both program and data memory have to be accessed using the same address, data and a control line. So since both of them share the data, so the speed of the data transfer will be comparatively slower. Now in the case of Harvard architecture, we have separate program memory and data memory. So CPU will have separate data access and control line for the data memory, and separate data address and control line for the program memory. Now because of this, you can fetch the program memory and data memory simultaneously. So you can fetch the program and data memory simultaneously. So the drawback of von Neumann architecture is, after fetching the program memory only, I can fetch my data memory. So CPU with the Harvard architecture, we can access program memory and data memory at the same time. So the clock cycle efficiency of a hybrid architecture is efficient compared to a von Neumann architecture. But in von Neumann architecture, what you can see is there is only single lines required to interface between program memory and data memory. So the PCs of the microprocessor are comparatively simple to interface as compared to Harvard architecture. Most of the microprocessor follows von Neumann architecture. Most of the microcontroller follows Harvard architecture. So now let us go ahead. So before we summarize our lecture today, there is a new class of system called as embedded microprocessors. So in embedded microprocessors, you can see it follows most of the principles of microprocessors, but it also uses some of the facilities of the microcontrollers. So in that case, microprocessors and the CPU will be having some peripherals. So there will be CPU. So we will have some inbuilt I/O. So we have data memory, program memory. So it follows microprocessor principles. So why it is used is because of the digitization of most of the functions. The best example of this is ATMs. So ATM is a full-fledged PC where it will access a server, get the data of a credit card or debit card, and then will exchange the notes. So the job of the ATM is very data intensive, but you cannot have a simple microcontroller to control the system. So you will have a display unit that control the nodes and check and verify the nodes. So this is very complex and data intensive process. So in this case, you have embedded microprocessors. Okay. So which have the best qualities of microprocessor and microcontroller as well. So the ecosystem is moving towards the embedded microprocessors. So we have seen the difference between the microprocessor and microcontrollers. Microprocessor is very versatile, IOs are different, peripherals are separated out, the data bus is outside, control bus is outside. So in microcontroller, all the things are built in a single chip. So it is very easy to interface, it is very cheaper compared to microprocessor, and is also does not take much of space compared to microprocessor. One more difference is, so microcontroller is used for single task system. So like you can take your washing machine, you can take your TVs, where you have the single task. Okay, so for the multiple tasks, we prefer microprocessors. As we can see, if we want to surf the internet, we want to process the word or something like that. Okay, thank you.